The next one is innovative programs. And these are programs that meet the needs of our customers, stakeholders, and others. And as an example, the Power Pathways program, where we're taking students from community colleges, helping them prepare for a career at PG&E, and then helping them get their foot in the door and establish themselves and show us what they can do. We have a similar program with returning vets from Iraq and Afghanistan. Employee engagement is another theme. How do we, as employees, have an impact on 20,000 people organization, and how do we have our voices heard? Corporate governance is another theme. We've been very clear about laying out a role on our board for climate change and environmental matters in general, which resides with the Public Policy Committee of the board. We have a number of other leading disclosure and corporate governance dimensions that give us every year a very high ranking from independent third-party rankers. And that's, again, critical to establishing our credibility and to reinforcing this theme of transparency and openness. And finally, proactive stakeholder engagement, which sounds like one of those corporate consultant terms, but in my mind, fundamentally means listening to our customers, listening to stakeholders, really listening to them, and not just nodding our heads, but coming back, making sure we understand them, and then trying to create programs, modify tariffs, do all the sorts of things that it's in the power for us to do to try to make our business more user-friendly to the stakeholders and customers and communities we serve. One of the critical dimensions of sustainability is that if it isn't fact-based, it becomes a really nice concept. And I think we've all seen a lot of really nice concepts come and go over our careers. But the critical thing about this one is, in fact, that it is fact-based. That having a set of facts about our footprint allows us to make better business decisions and to do our jobs better. It allows us to know if we're actually making decisions that reduce those footprints, if the cost savings and the emissions and other pollutant reductions are coming out of the machine or not, and if not, why aren't they? So it becomes a very analytical kind of decision-making process like any other capital expenditure or other decision-making process in the company. And it allows us to continue to monitor and assure that we're getting the kind of performance that we're planning and investing for. I want to talk a little bit more about the value of coalitions and partnerships. And this endeavor, the initiative, is a great example of one of those kinds of partnerships. What we found, I think, from lots of experiences that, one, we don't internally possess all of the knowledge on these subjects, and it's really critical for us to go out and talk to the people who do. And there's no folks better in this area than UC Berkeley and the other partners on the project. So it's a great opportunity for us to work with them and learn. It also allows us to hear from third parties what's important to them. And sometimes we think we know, and sometimes we really do know, but often we know 80% of it, but maybe there's a critical 20% that we don't hear. And this kind of engagement really allows us to I think, hear from third parties in different kinds of ways. And finally, it gives the results of anything that we do a level of credibility that it wouldn't have if it simply was something that PG&E cooked up, in someone's mind. Fundamentally, it's critical to us, again, in kind of being transparent and open. This is who we're working with. This is how we're doing it. You may have better approaches, but it's a marker. And I think that's a really critical and useful thing. And it's part of building lasting solutions as opposed to sort of firing things out there that don't ultimately have an impact. As we look at the road ahead, this is the cover of the upcoming corporate responsibility, and I'm pleased to say, first sustainability report, which all of you should be getting a link to in the next week or so. And I think that the fact that we've, for the first year, introduced the notion of sustainability, not just on the cover, but also throughout the text of the report, in terms of talking about the things that are the major metrics that we're looking to evaluate our sustainability progress, and also some of the challenges we have in meeting those metrics. I'm really proud, and I hope you will be when you read the report, to see that we've gone further in disclosure than we have in the past. And in terms of listening to third parties, one of the things that we heard repeatedly from Ceres and other stakeholder reviewers is that we really needed to provide a bit more sense of, one, not just talk about all the things that worked really well, but to talk about some of the things that we tried that maybe haven't worked as well, or things that we're still grappling with. And also to lay out more longer-term kinds of goals so that even though we know that we have them inside, folks outside don't always understand that we have them. So by laying them out, by making them more transparent, we create a marker, again, for further discussions, further success stories, or further, we're grappling with this problem, help us. What have others done that have worked kind of stories. I think that the old adage that what gets measured gets managed and what gets disclosed gets done, in this case is really the perfect example of what we're trying to do. And I'm really excited about this journey, and I look forward to working with all of you as we move forward.